Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, welcome you all to the Industrial Pharmacy class. As you know, today is the second class of this week, and in this lecture, we will discuss the new chapter, that is packaging, packing and packaging. And in that particular lecture, we will discuss packing and packaging and influence of packaging and various packaging material that is utilized in the pharmaceutical industry. We manufacture different pharmaceutical products in the pharmaceutical industries, and it is necessary to properly and pack in order to protect, in order to provide the different potentials to the pharmaceutical product. Dear students, the main focus of this lecture is to learn about the packing and packaging. We will discuss in detail what is meant by packing and packaging, and the influence of packaging material, the different materials that is used in the pharmaceutical industry. While we manufacture the products, then it is necessary to appropriate, select the packaging material, and then the packaging material is responsible for the different varieties of the characteristic properties which is mandatory for the pharmaceutical product. And we will discuss in the final section of this lecture about the different packaging material, and we will discuss in detail the different packaging material that is used in the pharmaceutical industry for packaging of the different products. Dear students, after the completion of this lecture, you will be able to know about the packing and packaging and influence of packaging material and the various packaging material that is utilized in the pharmaceutical industry for packing or packaging of a number of pharmaceutical products that is fabricated in the pharmaceutical industry. Dear students, first of all, we will discuss that what is meant by packaging. Packaging can be defined as that it is an economical means of providing presentation, that is you know that the presentation is provided in the form of the packaging. Suppose we have products of the tablets, and it is presented in the strap form and the packing form and envelope surrounding the contents of the particular tablet, and in order to present in a good way and in order to protection. The second one is to provide a protection, and also provide a protection for that particular product, that is tablet. First of all, it is presentation, a good presentation and a good marketing potential is there. Identification information, and the packaging provides the information of the particular product that is to be easily identified by the providing the packaging, and in the packaging the necessary information for the identification is also there. Containment, and also the product is contained and it will provide the protection, and it is easy to convenient and compliance for a product during the storage. We store the product, and it is suitably packed, and it is convenient, and moreover it is compliance for a product during the storage, during the carriage, transportation. And if we display in the pharmaceutical industry, or if we display in the during the transportation and in the pharmacy, that is the medical store or pharmacy, we easily display and until the product is consumed. It is responsible. The packaging is conveniently defined as economical means of providing presentation. I told you about the presentation, the presentable manner, protection, identification information, containment, convenience, and compliance for a product during storage, during the carriage, transportation, display, and until the product is consumed or dispatched. Is the definition of the packaging, is what is meant by the packaging. Now we will discuss the function of packaging. The various functions of packaging are protective provision, protect, provide protection from the environment, from the different hazard, storage function, loading and transport function, identification of product, product promotion, and marketing. And the first one, that is the protective provision, is a function of packaging. It is essentially involved protecting the contents or the ingredient, that is a particular product ingredient. It is packed in a suitable container and primary, secondary or tertiary packaging. From the environment, protection is provided by the packaging and vice versa. The inward protective function is intended to ensure full retention of the utility value of the packaging good. The material that is within the package, that is ensured that it is fully retained, and retention is given, protection is given inside the material of the package. The second one is storage provision. The material used for packaging should be stored properly, so to preserve the quality of the material. In order to provide this quality of material and the preservation both before packaging and once the package contents have been used. Then it provides storage provision. And the third one is storage and loading function. Packaging has crucial impact on the efficiency of the transport, handling, and storage of goods. Packaging should therefore be designed to be easily handled during the transportation, during the carriage, during the from one side to another areas, and to permit space-saving storage and stowage. It is a proper function of the shape and the strength of packages should be such that they may not only be stored side by side, leaving virtually no void, but may also stored safely one above the other. Another function of the packaging is identification of the product. Packaging should give clear identification of the product at all stages. The life of the patient may depend upon rapid and correct identification in emergencies. If we have properly packed and selected packages at identification purpose, in case of emergency, we can easily select and identify. That is the one mean of the one function of the packaging is the identification of the product. Packaging also serves as means to identify the manufacturer of the product, that which pharmaceutical industry has fabricated or formulated, manufactured the product, and not only the identification of the product, but also the identification of the pharmaceutical industry in which it is manufactured. The product can be also promoted, and the promotional values and the attraction for the attention of the people while purchasing. The good packaging material provide a good promotional value, and the marketing potential is also there. The packaging and labels can be used by marketers to encourage potential buyer to purchase the product, and the different market distribution setups and distributors have also on the label that marketed by on the label or the package as well, in order to enhance the marketing potential of the product. Different hazards encountered by package. Hazard encountered by the package can be divided into three main groups. The first one is mechanical hazard, second one is climatic or environmental hazard, and the third one that is the biological hazard. These are the three different types of the hazard, which are the main groups of the hazard, which is being encountered by the packaging material. That is the protection from the mechanical, climatic, environmental hazard, the different temperature and the humidity, or biological hazard. And the mechanical hazard includes shocking or impact damage, compression, or using the pressure and vibration, electrical conductance, and abrasion. These are the types of the mechanical hazard. While in the climatic or environmental hazard, moisture, temperature, pressure, atmospheric gases, lights, and solid airborne contaminants are the sources of the climatic or environmental hazard. And the package provides protection from not only from the mechanical hazard but also from the climatic and biological hazard as well. The biological hazard includes the microbiological hazard and the chemical hazard. Now, after that, we will discuss the ideal packaging requirements. Before going to discuss the different materials, there are certain consideration on the ideal properties. If the packaging material have the following properties, it means that it is the ideal packaging. The first one is they must protect the preparation or the formulation from environmental conditions like temperature and different light sensitivity. It should be protected from the ideal package. Amber glasses are used, and this purpose or different other material is used for protecting from the environmental condition like temperature, humidity, and different other hazards that we have discussed in the previous. They must be non-reactive with the product. If we have selected a package and it is reactive with the product, it means that the product will be deteriorated and its stability will be affected. That's why we will select other package properties, that is, it should be not reactive with the product or the contents of the formulation, and they must not import the product tests or orders, should not be responsible for any test giving or orders giving if we package the content, and there should be no test of the or order of the packaging material selected. They must be non-toxic as well. They must be FDA approved, that is the Food and Drug Administration approved. The ideal package must meet applicable temper resistance requirements. They must be because of the product liquidation. It should be lacking this property, that is the cause of product liquidation should be leakage in that pharmaceutical packaging we have selected for that pharmaceutical product, and they must be adaptable, commonly employed high-speed packaging equipment on which packaging line should be adjusted. There are different types of the packaging material on the basis of the types of packaging. First of all, we will discuss the types of packaging. We have also discussed this type of packaging in the previous lectures and this product chapter as well. What we're calling from this primary packaging, that is the first envelope, the product, and order. And this is usually the smallest unit of distribution for use, and as the package which is in direct contact with the contents of the material or the formulation is in direct contact with this packaging material, and this type of packaging material is termed as primary packaging. For example, impulse, vial, container, dosing dropper, which is used for the dosing of the pediatric patient, and closure, that is plastic or metal made closure. These are in direct contact with the contents or the formulation ingredient. This is termed as primary packaging. These are the types of the packaging which is in direct contact with the contents. You can see on the screen the primary packaging, that is syringe, in which we take the ingredients of the contents of the injectable of the vial product, and it is in direct contact with the material, that is the packaging provided. That is the first one. That is the second one. You can see different straps, and also these are the types of the primary packaging. the direct content with the packaging material. The secondary packaging that is defined as that is lies outside the primary packaging. It can have used to group primary package together. For example, paper and board, cotton, corrugated fiber, and box. These are the types of the secondary packaging. You can see on the screen the example of the secondary packaging. The primary packaging is further enveloped by the packaging, and that is termed as secondary packaging. The third type that is used for the bulk handling and warehouse storage for the large quantity of the product, and during the transportation and shipping. The most common form is pelletized unit that pack tightly into container, and this type of the packaging material is termed as tertiary packaging. You can see the type of the packaging that is tertiary packaging on the screen. After that, we will discuss in detail different types of the packaging material. There are different types of packaging material used in the pharmaceutical industries, while we are going to package the pharmaceutical products. Different types include the glass, metals, rubber, plastics, fibrous material, films, foils, and laminates. These are the different types of packaging material which are used in the pharmaceutical industry for the packaging of the pharmaceutical product. First of all, we will discuss the glass. Glass is being widely used as a drug packaging material. Glass is composed of sand, soda ash, limestone, silicon, aluminum, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, zinc, and barium are generally used into the preparation of the glass. These are also elements which are used for the preparation of glass, but mostly glass is composed of the sand, the soda ash, and limestone. There are different advantages on the basis of which we prefer to use the glass, because glass is hygienic and suitable for sterilization, easily sterilized by the different methods of sterilization. They are relatively non-reactive depending on the grade chosen. The high grade, that is the type 1. There are different types of the glass: type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4 glasses. The type 1 glass, that is expensive glass, that is a high quality glass, and depending on the quality of the grade chosen, relatively compared to the other material, they are relatively non-reactive. It can accept a variety of closure, can be easily closed by different closure, and acceptability of the closure is acceptability. Various closure can accept by the glass. If we use glass as a packaging material, they can be used on high-speed packaging lines. Packaging can be done easily. The speed of the packaging is more as compared to the other packaging material. They are transparent and they have good protection power, and they can be easily labeled. The labeling is easily done if we use the glass. There are certain disadvantages as well of the glass, because it is relatively heavy as compared to, if we say that is compared to the plastic. It is relatively heavy and it is fragile, so it is breakable, and it is easily broken because it is fragile in nature. It is alkali to the aqueous preparation. As you know that in the previous slide I told you about the composition, that it is made up of the soda ash and soda limestone, and that's why the disadvantage is it is alkali to aqueous preparation. Because of the composition, it is released as alkali to the aqueous preparation. Photosensitive drug cannot be protected in the transparent glass container. and for this purpose amber colored glass containers are used. It is necessary for the photosensitive drug in order to protect the drug from the light. The light sensitive drug cannot be provided or protected in the transparent glass container. For this purpose, the amber glass container are used. As glass is a chemical substance, sometimes it reacts with the product contained inside it. Because of the composition, there are certain chemical substances in the composition which may react with the product composition or product contents, and by this way the chemical reaction can deteriorate the stability and efficacy of the product. There are different types of the glasses. For example, type 1 is the neutral or borosilicate glass, type 2 that is treated soda lime glass, type 3 that is for soda lime glass, and type NP that is the general purpose soda lime glass. And colored glasses are there and neutral glasses are there. And these are the different types of the glasses. You can see on the screen as well the different types of the glasses, and zooming, that is the packaging material and the top type of the formulation that can be packed, and the minimum quality of the glass that can be used, that is required for this aqueous injectable of any pH. Then we will prefer to use the type 1 glasses recommended. The minimum quality, that is the highly sensitive, that is the type 1 glass. And in case of the impure is the package. If we use impure and impure, we would select the type 1 glass. In case of the aqueous preparation, that is injectables of any pH. While in case of the aqueous injectables of pH less than 7, we will select the type 2 glass. And non-aqueous injectable type 3 glass can be used for the impure packaging. The packaging that is impure and the glass composition, that is the type 3. Similarly, you can see the others. The first one, that was for the impure, and then we will select for the vial, that is aqueous injectable of any pH, type 1 again, and aqueous injectable for pH less than 7, type 2, and non-aqueous injectable. If we have vial, the vial composition should be of the type 3. But in case of the dry powder, that is provided in the vials, and dry powder for parental use, that is need to be reconstituted before use, that is in the dry powder form. Type 4 glass may be used for this purpose as well. It is a little bit about the composition of the glass that is used. And in case of the bottles and jar, that is composed of the material of different classes of the glass. For bottles and jar, that is made up of the glass. If we have to pack tablets, capsules, and oral solids and other solids are for reconstitution, type 4 glass is selected. In case of the bottles and jar, that is made up of the type 4 glass. But in case of the oral liquids, it is solution, suspension, and emulsion. Type 4 is also here. Nasal and ear drops, type 4. Certain types of the external semi-solid preparation for the patient, and local irritants, type 4, and blood and related products. These are to be packed in the bottle and jar. Then the composition of the bottle should be of type 1 glass composition. And there are some other, that is the proper as well, auxiliary packing device, that is with certain kind of product. Type 4 glasses selected for this purpose. While for the aerosol containers, that is aerosol product, that is solution, suspension, emulsions are semi-solid type. Type 1 glasses selected for this purpose. These are the some of the example of the formulation and their respective packaging material and the quality of glass that is selected for this purpose. Another packaging material that is termed as metals, and most of the packaging is done in the metal made up packaging material, and metal containers are used solely for medicinal products for non-parental administration. These are non-parental administration, these are non-sterile, non-parental, then these are provided in the metal packaging material. As metal is strong, opaque, and permeable to moisture, gases, odors, light, bacteria, and shatterproof, it is the ideal packaging material for pressurized container. Hopefully, you will understand that what is pressurized container. Pressurized container, that is aerosol. It is resistant to high and low temperature. They include tubes, bags made from foil or plaster, cans, and aerosol, and gas cylinders. These are made up of the metal. Metals made of tubes, bags, and plaster, cans, and different other that is aerosol and gas cylinders. Aluminium and stainless steel are the metals of choice for both primary and secondary packaging for medicinal products. Another material for packaging material that is formed as rubbers or elastomers is also synonymously used for the rubbers. Excellent material for forming seals used to form closure such as bunks or vials, or in similar application such as gaskets and aerosol cans. And there are two different categories of the rubbers. First one is natural rubber and the second one is synthetic rubber. These are the two different categories of the main categories of the rubber. It's either the natural origin or the synthetic origin. Two types of the categories of the rubbers, that is natural rubbers or the synthetic rubber. And as you can see on the screen, the one for the wire or in several applications such as the gaskets and the aerosol can. The first one, that is the natural rubber, that is suitable for multiple use closure, that is for injectable products such as rubber seals after multiple insertion of needle. That is the only choice that natural rubber that use, that is suitable if we insert the needle and we take the dose and we are going to reconstitute, and for multiple use the suitable one is the rubber material, that is the natural rubber. The disadvantages of the natural rubbers, it does not will tolerate multiple autoclaving, and if we are going to autoclave multiple times, it becoming brittle and lead to relative degree of extractable material in presence of predator. And the second disadvantage of the natural rubber is that It is the risk of product absorbing on or into rubber. There is a risk or chances that the product will be absorbed on the rubber or into the rubber. It is absorbed on that particular rubber, and that is another advantage of the natural rubber. The third disadvantage of the natural rubber is that it has certain degree of moisture and gas permeation. That's why the moisture sensitive material or gas permeation cannot be controlled because of the certain degree of the moisture and gas permeation and the natural rubber. The second one, that is the synthetic rubber, that have fewer additives and thus fewer extractable and tend to experience less absorption of product ingredients because it is made up of synthetic origin, and the true properties, that is the permeability and the structure, that is in the first one, that is it has the due to the multiple autoclaving becoming brittle and lead to relatively relatively of extractable material in presence of additive. That is controlled in this synthetic one, and the absorption of product ingredients, that is also fewer as compared to the first one, and also are less suitable for repeated insertion of needle because they tend to fragment or core-pushing small particles of the rubber into the product. For example, silicone, butyl, bromobutyl or chlorobutyl, etc. Silicone is least reactive, but it does experience permeability to moisture and gases. This is the drawback of the silicone, but one of the advantages of the silicone is that silicone is least reactive. Another material that is the packaging material, that is plastic material. Plastic material is also used in the pharmaceutical products packaging as well. According to British Standards Institute, plastic represents a wide range of solid composite materials which are largely organic, usually based upon synthetic resin or upon modified polymers of natural origin and possessing appreciable mechanical strength at a suitable stage, and their manufacturing. Most plastic can be cast, molded, or polymerized directly into shape. It is clear from the British Standard Institute plastics that different materials can be shaped, plastic manufactured at suitable stages, and there are different types of the plastic material. First one is thermoplastic type, and the second one is thermostatic type. In the first one, that is the thermoplastic type, on heating they are softened to viscous fluid, order again uncooling, and it is resistant to breakage and cheap to produce, and it is economical, and providing the right plastics are chosen to provide the necessary protection of the product and an attractive container. For example, polyethylene is one of the thermoplastic type, and polystyrene, polypropylene, polyamide, and polycarbonate. If we select the suitable accurate plastic, the thermoplastic type, then we will protect the product as it is. The second type of the plastic material, that is termed as thermostatic type, when heated they may become flexible. The first one, that is on heating they are softened to viscous fluid which harden again and cooling. But in the second, when heated, they will become flexible, but they don't become liquid. First one become liquid, that is the thermoplastic. The second one is thermosetting, that does not become liquid. During heating, such materials form permanent coupling between the linear chain, resulting in solidification and loss of plastic flow. For example, phenol, formaldehyde, urea, formaldehyde, is again here, and melamine, formaldehyde. Urea formaldehyde and formaldehyde, that is something else, and melamine formaldehyde. These are the example of the resulting solidification and loss of plastic flow because of the cross linkage between the linear chain. There are different advantages of the plastic material. For example, it is cost is low, economical, and it is light in weight as compared to the other material like the rubber and as well as the glass. It is durable and in use for a long time, pleasant to touch, flexible, facilitating product dispensing, odorless and inert to most chemicals, unbreakable and leak proof. Among the advantages, there are certain other advantages as well. It is able to retain their shape throughout their use. They have a unique suck back feature which prevents product loss, ease of transportation, easily transportable, they are poor conductor of heat, they are resistant to inorganic chemicals, they have good protection power. Along with the advantages, there are certain disadvantages of the plastic material as well, including the plastic appear to have certain disadvantages like attraction, absorption, lightness, and hence poor physical stability. All are permeable to some degree to moisture, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc., and most exhibit electrostatic attraction, allow penetration of light, rays, unless pigmented black, etc. If it is pigmented black or any other color is given, then the penetration of the light can be controlled. Otherwise, they are permeable to some degree of the moisture, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and mostly allowing the penetration of the light. Another material that is used as a packaging material that is termed as fibrous material. The fibrous materials are the important part of pharmaceutical packaging. Fibrous materials include papers, labels, cotton, bags, outers, etc. These are the different types of the fibrous material which are used in the pharmaceutical packaging. The application as well as advantages of the cotton, that is one of the fibrous material, include increases display area, provides better stacking for display of stock items, assembles leaflets, provide physical protection, especially to the items like metal, collapsible tube. Fiberboard outers, either a solid or corrugated board, also find substantial application for bulk shipment. These are the advantages of the cotton. Finally, we will discuss the film, foils and laminates. The most important metal for this application is aluminium. Phillips cellophane is an attractive transparent film which can insert and painted upon, so it useful as outer web. And the laminates are used to combine the properties of individual file and film, and effectively are made by bonding the layer with adhesive. Plaster pack, that is one of the package that is used in the pharmaceutical industries. It is the plaster packaging. It is a type of deformed plastic packaging, commonly used as unit dose packaging for pharmaceuticals such as tablets, capsules, or lozenges. Plaster pack consists of two principal components. The first one is the cavity, and the second one is the lining. The cavity, that is made up from either plastic or aluminum, and the second one, that is the lining, it is made from paper, plastic or aluminum. The cavity contains the product, and the lining seals the product in the package. That is all about the plaster packaging. And finally, we will discuss the closure. And after the closure, the lecture will be closed, inshallah. Closure of the devices by means of which containers can be opened and closed. Proper closing of the container is necessary, because if the closure is not properly done, the suitable closure is that it is responsible for prevention of the loss of material by spilling or volatilization. So it is necessary to provide a closure, that is a proper closing system for the container to prevent the loss of material by spilling or the volatilization or vaporization. The second advantage is using this closure to avoid contamination of the product from dirt, microorganism or insect. If the properly it is not closed, or closure is not provided to the container, there is chances of the contamination of the product, and the content may be contaminated by the entrance of the dirt, the microorganism of the insect or any other foreign particle. Another reason is the prevention of deterioration of the product from the effects of the environment, such as moisture, oxygen or carbon dioxide. Material used for closure are, there are different types of the material by which the closure are made up of. A closure for containers meant for storage of pharmaceutical products are generally made from the following basic material, that is either glass, plastic, metal or rubber material. And thank you all for your attention. References are given, that is Alton Pharmaceutical, that is the design and manufacture of medicine, and David Blackman, Theory and Practice of Industrial Pharmacy, 3rd edition. You can consult these books or any other book for this topic as well. Thank you all for your attention. Let's overview the today's topic. Dear students, in the today's topic, we have studied in the detail about the packing and packaging and the various packaging materials. First of all, we have defined the packaging, the functions of packaging as well. Hazards encountered by the package, three main groups: chemical hazard, climatic or environmental hazard, and the biological hazard. And example of the relevant hazard. After that, we have discussed ideal packaging requirements, that what is the ideal properties for a packaging that is claimed to be ideal one. Different types of the packaging, primary packaging, secondary packaging, and as well as tertiary packaging. We have also discussed the types of packaging material: glass, metal, rubber, plastic, fibrous material, film, foils and laminates. We have discussed in detail the glass, advantages, disadvantages, types of glasses, the types of packaging material, with the glass is the packaging material, the package type, include wire, bottles and jars, bottles, aerosol container. And after that, we have discussed metals, rubbers. The packaging material and categories of rubber, that is natural rubber and synthetic rubber. The factor advantages, disadvantages, plastic material, and the two types of the plastic material, that is the thermoplastic type and the thermostatic type, and advantages of the plastic material, as well as we have thoroughly discussed the disadvantages of the plastic material. Fibrous material, what is meant by the fibrous material, and the fibrous material example, and advantages of cotton, which is one of the fibrous material, and foils and laminates, plaster pack, closure, and the importance of closure, and the material used for the closure. But we have also discussed the plaster pack as well here. It's important. Thank you all for your attention. Inshallah, we will discuss this topic in the online Google Meet session as well.